Hey guys, welcome to Downtown Tailoring. In today's video, we are going to take in a jumpsuit. This is so important job because you can do that in dresses, blouses, etc. So let's go. This is the jumpsuit. As you can see, I already pinned it. I put it on the mannequin so you can appreciate what we have to do. But you see, I pinned it at the sides and at the back. My customer is basically two sizes, so the top part has to be smaller. But the hips are full in those pants, so this is what we have to do. So if you see, I pin at the back and at the sides, and as you can see, there is a line in between, and I will tell you what I'm gonna do after. So my first step is to mark all the pins. I mark it outside and inside, but honestly, you don't need to mark them outside. I just do it because it makes me feel more confident on the job what I'm doing. But just the inside marks are enough. So when I finish all my marks, then I will remove all my pins, and this is where I can really start my job. I'm removing all the pins, and before I start, I wanted to put it on the mannequin so you can see exactly, or not exactly, but you can have a good idea of how this jumpsuit will look before the pinning. As you can see, it's very white and you have material all the way. It still is a nice jumpsuit. It has a nice shape, so it will look good, but it's just like the customer was swimming on it. So I'm back in my table and I have all my pins there, and as you can see, there is a waist. This is the waistline that is separating everything. What a lot of people do is just to do one line, but I prefer to open the waistline and then I take underneath, I take at the top, and then I join back the lining. That way it will look exactly the way it was before, like nothing has been done. So then you know what I have to do. I have my first step is to open the waist, and remember that I have 4 points, 2 for the back darts and 2 for the sides. So I will open all my waist and insert and then sew with the straight stitch. After I have everything open, then I will start marking. I will start with the sides, and as you can see, I pull them a little bit closer, and then what I'm doing is to measure both sides what I took in both pins, and then I go more or less in between. That means that I'm balancing all the measurements. That way both sides will be exactly same, right? And then after that, what I'm gonna do, I will join all my dots, and look at this one, looks very straight, and sometimes it's a straight, sometimes it's a curve, but in this case it's so straight that is almost incredible. I explained how to do the balance in this video, and the link is down below. Now is the turn for the back darts, and I'm seeing that if I do what I pin, probably those darts will be a little bit too big. So what I'm gonna do, I will put a little bit of that dart, of that space in the front dart, and I think it will be even better in the sense that will give better shape to the bust. It will be a little bit more job than I anticipated, but the result will be totally worth it. The pocket is on top of the darts, so I have to open the pocket a little bit, but it's okay, we can do it. So I'm just reducing the darts by around 3/16 of the inches, and this is what I will complete at the front. I know that won't be that much, but it will make a really huge difference. You see, it's just a little bit, and then in the curve of the bust, I will do a nice curve, and it will look fantastic. This curve is always very nice. Now I'm going to the darts at the front, and I'm putting this exactly the same amount that I put at the top. And you see my line, everything, it will be really nice. See the lines at the sides and see the lines at the back. So I have everything marked, and my next step is just to go to my machine to sew. But I noticed that I haven't opened yet the bias in the armhole. This is very important. Sometimes people just sew it like that, but I like to open just to make the job a little bit more beautiful. So I'm just putting together these two. You could open the whole bias, but in this case there's no need because they did it like that anyway. So I'm just almost copying everything. It won't be a copy because the seam allowance will be a little bit bigger, but it will be easy enough and good enough. So I'm pinning so my material doesn't move underneath, and then I will just stitch over the mark I did. And then when I finish my stitch, I will mark 3/4 inch away for the seam allowance, and then I will cut it. There is a little bit of thread still, so I will open that and I will search my seam allowance open. Why I will do that? With linen, probably it's better to have the seam allowance closed, but I want to leave this seam allowance so big that if I leave it closed, it will be too bulky, not really good. But if I open, it will spread and will be more flattened, and this is what I'm looking for. So I will search my two separate seam allowance. That way I can have it flattened and nice. And then what I'm gonna do now, I will fold it back the way it was. And you see, please notice these two little points. You cannot push up those points. You can't. If you push it, it will pull the material. So you have to leave it like to rest them in the nice way. It's geometry. When you fold it, it will fold that way. You don't pull it, okay? I know that you will prefer to pull it because it will look apparently better, but it's not really. Now let me go to the sides, and I will sew the sides with the pocket on top of the pocket, and look how nice skirt for the hip I am making. It will look really nice. My next step is to connect the part of the body with the part of the pants, and I'm trying to make sure that the lines, the side lines, both match very well. This is really important in the way they will look. Okay, so here you go how they look. So they look okay. So I'm going to the next part. Of course, first I do the other side, but let me go now to the front, and I'm sewing the line I mark, and then I will sew the darts at the back, and then I will join them again together, making sure that the lines are together. This is really important because this is how our job will look really good. It's really important. And then the pocket is on top, and I should close it, but before I will check, yes, they are good. After I check, then I can do it. If I don't do it that way, I can finish my pocket, and then I can finish the job, and then I realize that it wasn't okay, and then I have to open everything, and you don't want that. Now is the part of the back. And again, I'm doing the same job. Now you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just making my dart a little bit deeper and at the top first, and then I will make the dart a little bit deeper at the bottom part, and then I will join both parts together again. And as you know, I usually do my darts very curvy, but that depends of the body type, and in this type all the lines as I pin were more or less straight and flat, and this is okay too. So you will work depends of the customer. So now I have everything joined together, and my last step will be to search all the waist all around. So satisfying, huh? Everything gets clean when you just pass your material there. It's really nice. I didn't have serger when I started to sew, and the serger makes everything easier. I have to recognize that. So now I'm ironing everything, and here you go. This is my jumpsuit done. Let me show it before and the after, you see the difference. It's just, when you do alterations, you just look different. Even if you have a pretty nice body like this customer, still alterations are so good. Well guys, that was all for today. I hope that you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. Thank you. Bye.